This is the second card of this series for Animal Spirits for 2026. And I'm not wearing my glasses. I'm a glasses wearer, but on my last video they kept falling down, which is something I need to do, go to the eye doctor and get my glasses adjusted so I'm not constantly pushing them up on my face. So yeah, we all have those things in life, right, that kind of are like happening over and over, and there's a solution, but somehow getting to that solution is like a long and winding road. The next card that we're going to look at for 2026 energy is Cheetah. We've got another fire energy. I think all of us can kind of like plug into Cheetah and think speed, action, force of nature, beautiful to watch. And as I'm thinking into this card, what really came up for me is another card I've been pulling lately in the tarot. Another fire card, Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands pairs really nicely with this Cheetah energy. It's very fast. In fact, it's like so fast you can't even like pre-think out stuff. You're just doing, you're going. It's almost the concept of like being in the wave and like it's happening real time. You're just like making adjustments to keep on the wave as it's like unfolding below you. And that's really an energy we're gonna feel on the upcoming weeks. We've got Saturn and Neptune going conjunct in Aries at the 0-degree point, another fire sign. And Saturn will be in Aries for a couple of years, and the Neptune will be in it for quite a bit longer. So we're looking at a lot of fire energy. And fire energy, especially Aries, is very much rooted in I am human, I create, I think, I feel, I do. So there's a lot of potential, I feel like, for tapping into our creative opportunity and evolution this year. And inherently, that's not always like an easy feeling. I think for myself personally, I've been working through a lot of dense energies for the last cycle, maybe like 7 years. And there's a gift in that density. There is an opportunity to really dig deep and to like clear out energetic pathways. You know, a lot of how we function now is based on beliefs that we have about ourselves or precepts that we formed before we had like, you know, higher awareness that kind of like predict and like kind of make a framework for how we operate and how we perceive things and how we view relationships. So dense energy is really a gift to go in and like ask yourself questions like, why do I feel this way? Why do I think this way? Why is this hard for me? What is there to learn from this? But as we kind of shifting into the fire horse energy and the Chinese zodiac and getting a lot more fire astrologically with Saturn and Neptune moving into 0-degree Aries, the creation point, we have a really big new cycle happening, both personally and for humanity. And Cheetah energy is not stopping to think, it's going, it's fast, it's creating. And I think there's some beautiful messages here. There's some messages in not needing to overthink or have it all planned out and just doing and being and creating. And also trust. There's a big element for me that comes up of trust, and that is an idea that's been pretty like at the top for me lately. Is when these energies come up, they are essentially asking me to trust in myself, trust in the work that I've been doing. I think in order to move fast with authenticity and integrity, it can often be the result of years of doing a lot of like thoughtful, deep, hard inner work. It's not a straight line. Healing is a long journey. and you hit a lot of different polarities in that journey. You might go one spot and be like, I'm really here and this is my truth. And then as you integrate that, you start to reflect and be like, oh wow, you know, that was my truth because I was coming from this spot, but now that I've been here and I've integrated this, I'm seeing it from a different angle. Boing, now I think this is my truth. I also notice a lot of times there's this pendulum swing that can happen, is we have this big challenging experience and we're like integrating it and we're feeling strongly about it and we're working it through, and there's a tendency to go wing. And I don't think that's bad, actually. I've noticed in myself that like I come over here, as long as we're engaging and we're self-aware and asking ourselves questions like, why is this happening? I come over here and then I'm like, okay, now I'm at this end of things and I'm like really exploring that. And then a few years go by and I kind of like, oh, I can see now why I felt that way, why I needed to come here to feel this. But now that I've been here for a while, I get a viewpoint of this thing from both sides, and I can start to kind of like integrate and become more centered, become more grounded, become more clear on what's mine and what's not mine, and also take responsibility, but also like not need to swing as much. Not that the swings are bad. They're like, I think it's an evolutionary product of like going into these deep, big stories that we have within ourselves. And I think the more we all talk about it, find support for it, and apply a vocabulary and like an embodied practice to it, the more we can all relax into this becoming. And you know, the swings aren't driving us, we're just responding, not reacting. So I think those are some considerations to not stress about, but just kind of absorb what sticks and lands for you around this Cheetah fire energy and this Eight of Wands that I feel we're going to be all collectively flying with for quite a long period. So it's an energy that we're going to be learning about, growing in ourselves with, and like experiencing with other people. It's definitely a clarifier too. When things are moving fast and they're fiery, you start to become better at saying like, yep, I know that this is what I need or want, or nope, that's not for me, or hey, this is what I need. Can we reach a place where that works for both of us? And things are just gonna move faster. There's gonna be this inner knowing and this inner, even just this inner like ability to like, hey, I'm just putting it out there. I'm just going with it. So yeah, for the second card I pulled this year, Cheetah Energy 2026, those are some thoughts on it.